So next we have my colleague Mayra from the ITA sustainability team, who's going to talk to us about the TIN code, which is ITA's new sustainability standard. So Mayra leads the TIN code as the sustainability standard manager, and she is very well placed to teach us and explain a bit more about what we're trying to achieve here. I'll hand over to you, Mayra.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. I'm very excited to be here covering the sustainability side of this event. So today I will introduce you to the TIN code. Some of you are already familiar with the TIN code, some already might you not be familiar yet. But the TIN code is our ESG and sustainability standard for the TIN industry. And I will also just mention some opportunities for you to also invest in a sustainable future through the TIN code as well. So starting with the TIN code, it's a system that has three programs or components. These are the TIN code standard itself, that it's basically the standard. It lists the expectations for the industry. We work also on the development of the standard as ITA. Then we also have the reporting framework, which consists of the independent validation of evidence by an external assessor. This is for the evidence that companies submit for the TIN code. And then we also have the assurance system that it was rolled out last year, and we have independent auditors participating in this program. So the TIN code was launched in 2018. So we already have like 6 years operating and reporting the TIN code. It is the only standard tailored for the TIN industry and takes into account companies of all sizes. And now it also includes E&D experts and developers companies. The reports have a progressive approach. By this, what I mean is that it's not focused in a meet or it doesn't meet, a fail or a pass. We have 6 different standards as part of the TIN code. We have ratings that ranges from inadequate, informal, progressing, conforming, and third-party verified, which makes or at least the point of this is to highlight the efforts that companies are making in their progress in this ESG journey. Then the TIN code is also, as I mentioned before, it consists of an independent validation of evidence by an independent assessor. So we also promote credibility of the standard this way, because it's not ITA or the organization, this association that rates or assess the companies. It's an external consultant. And then we produce informative reports that are easy to navigate. Let's say, for example, if you review or have reviewed the TIN code, we have included information just to explain or clarify the reason behind a rating, and also what are these efforts or the things that companies are doing to progress in their ESG journey. Our reports are publicly available on our website. If you visit the tincode.org website, you will find the reports there. You don't need to sign up. You don't need to register. You just access the reports just like accessible to everyone, investors or any stakeholder that is just interested in reviewing our reports. The TIN code has 71 standards that are grouped into 10 principles. So we have the classic ESG aspects, environmental aspects. This is covered by Principle 2. We also have social aspects, and let's say, for example, Principle 3 covers health and safety. Principle 5 and 6 covers stakeholders and community development. We have governance covered through Principle 1. But at the same time, we go beyond this traditional ESG vision. We also cover, for example, we try to promote or encourage these companies reporting against the TIN code to positively influence the practices of their suppliers. We also seek continual improvement into labor practices and understanding or producing or disclosing information around the TIN code. or the tin use and tin products. And one of the most important ones that we have is also Principle 7. We cover avoiding contributing to serious human rights and also responsible sourcing, which is a hot topic now for the industry. The standard is also well placed to drive progress towards the UN Sustainable Development Goals as well. As part of ITA, we also monitor what is happening in terms of regulation and just like ESG or sustainability landscape in general. So I also wanted to note here what is happening, or just like point out what is happening globally. So we have some new trends and some new challenges as well for the industry. So what we've noticed is that in terms of environmental aspects, there are also expectations. There has been, the OECD have produced an environmental due diligence handbook. Expectations around biodiversity are also increasing. Of course, climate change, recycling and circularity. There is a lot of attention as well into wider human rights and labor due diligence. Forced labor is one of the main topics that also like downstream companies are also focusing on now. Responsible sourcing for all conflict affected and high risk areas, and full traceability of mineral. In terms of governance, there is also a lot of discussion around audit scrutiny. This is for responsible sourcing. And we are also addressing things with the Tin Code in our Tin Code reports and through the Tin Code Assurance Program. A lot of discussion as well in terms of the increasing number of standards globally. Transparency, there are increasing expectations around this topic as well. Greenwashing, discussions around it. And then one of the interesting one is also like incentives or premium for paying a premium for a sustainable metal, which is a very interesting one for us. And I think that globally in general. So here in this map, you can see the companies that are already reporting against the Tin Code. So we have 11 companies, 11 of our full ITA members that report against the Tin Code. These are miners, smelters, or recyclers. We have, for example, in South America, Mincer in Peru, Operaciones Metalúrgicas in Bolivia, Taboca and White Soldier in Brazil. In Europe, Phoenix and Arubis. In Africa, we have mining mineral resources. And in Asia, we have Yunnan Tin, Thailand Smelting and Refining Company, PT Tima, Malaysia Smelting Corporation, and in Tasmania, Bluestone. So these companies were the leaders, and they already started reporting the Tin Code in 2018. And starting like last year, we also have two new companies participating in Tin Code reporting. These are El Loro, that is reporting for the ISCA project in Bolivia, and then Atlantic Tin reporting for the Ashmak project in Morocco. And I'm just like so pleased to see this and see just companies motivated into reporting against the Tin Code. I've included a couple of the quotes here from this company. But what resulted for me like very interesting for me is that well, in the case of El Loro, they mentioned they just wanted to continue dedication to sustainable mining practices. And in the case of Atlantic Tin, they mentioned that this is also part of a strategy to integrate sustainable development goals into its core operations and contribute positively to the global tin supply chain, which are like very noble reasons and very valid reasons to report against the Tin Code. So I just wanted to list here like an overview of reasons to report against the Tin Code for other E&D experts or developers here. So we have, of course, the morally reasons, sustainable development. Then from an strategic point of view, Reporting the TIN code also gives these companies and the companies the advantage of familiarizing with the expectations of the industry and also start working in progressing these expectations. It gives them advantage because they are starting doing that from an early stage in the development of the project. And there's also an opportunity to be seen as industry leaders in ESG, and the TIN code is also supported by major TIN players. Another reason is from the stakeholders requirements. We've heard from these companies that, let's say, for example, to be able to apply or get funding, they need to demonstrate commitment to international standards. So this is a very interesting one for us. There are some investors here in the room, so I would like to hear more from your point of view and what is happening as well from E&D's investors. With this slide, there is like a lot of questions around the standards. So I just wanted to point out like some of the highlights that or some of the findings that we've noted with the TIN code. So overall, we're seeing progressive improvement from the companies reporting against the TIN code. That's the key finding here. This is compared to the reports, the first reports from the companies. We are also seeing overall progress in Principle 2, which covers environmental aspects, and we are also seeing overall progress in Principle 3 related to health and safety aspect, which is great because, as a standard setter, we monitor what is happening with our standard. I mean, we have this expectation of our aim is to promote sustainable practices and progressive improvement. But I'm just like so pleased to also see this like demonstrated with as part of the monitoring of our standard as well. We will publish soon an annual report also providing information of the progress with the TIN code in the last 5 years. So I encourage you to also visit the website to check the report once it's available there. For investors, how is it you can use the TIN code? So you can use a TIN code report to understand the sustainability progress of a project that maybe you are interested or just keeping an eye on it. But there is also, using the TIN code, it also gives you the opportunity to demonstrate commitment into improving the sustainable practices of upstream or the projects within your portfolio. You can engage with the TIN code, you can support the TIN code, and you can also join the TIN code mailing list or join the RTS, the Responsible TIN Supply Group. I think that the aim is to have like quarterly calls. I think it has been like less frequent like recently, but we have calls and organized by my colleague Sam, and we just like provide information in terms of what is happening within the TIN industry and also updates in terms of the TIN code and progress with this. We already engage with several of the organizations that you can see here, but we also want to continue building our network. And there are some investors and also other companies here. So I would just want to encourage you to just like chat, have a discussion in terms like what is happening from your point of view, what is that you can share about the TIN code if you have already reviewed our reports or not. We want to just continue building these networks, and it's important for us to also familiarize with all these stakeholders that we have for the TIN code in general. And in conclusion, some key takeaways. The TIN code is the only standard tailored to the TIN industry. It was developed with feedback and considering expectations from potential customers if you are an E&D. It's already used and supported by major TIN players. There is also an opportunity for companies, E&D companies, to be seen as industry leaders on ESG and sustainability. That's it. Thank you so much for your attention.